I got mint oil all over my hands, and now every time I wipe my face or pick something up to drink, I just mint. Which normally wouldn't be a bad thing. However, it is quite strong. Quite. So, hi. Hello. Welcome to today, day 2 of working on the animatic. I'm gonna say the days in air quotes, as this is technically day 3 for me, because I did a little bit of work off stream yesterday. I finalized the designs that I'll be using for this animatic, and I went back, fixed some things, fixed the hair, the clothes, and I finally figured out what the hell I'm supposed to do, and added in these extra frames, reformatted some things, and always keep in mind, this is done, I'm gonna say this for me, and for anyone listening who wants advice for this sort of thing, always, always leave room in your sketch and in your mind for any changes that might happen along the way. Whether it be for, like you get inspiration on an idea, or you think like something's gonna work. Like for this shot, I don't think I'm gonna have 3 frames here just because of timing. Like in my mind it works, but if you I went back and listened to the actual song, I was like, oh, some shots are gonna linger for a lot longer than I want them to, because there's like a good 3 seconds in between each line just for music, which is fine, but it does kind of mess up the timing on some bits. So, always keep that in mind. Today, though, since I don't really know where to start with these kinds of animatics, and I think, honestly, the best place to start is the beginning. But that's with storytelling, not necessarily with these kinds of projects. So, where is it? We're going to start everybody's favorite. I had considered just transferring all the files into their RAWs off stream, because it is going to be super boring. And here's the other thing. This is the typical video format size, but I know I'm gonna need extra room for these shots just to keep with the movement, you know? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna color that block, and then I'm going to edit canvas size and make it, let's see what, okay, that doesn't quite work as well as I want it to. So let's change that around. I know I'm gonna need height and width for some of these. So maybe if I make it 2x3. Yeah, there we go. That way, I have extra room for movement. Like, for this shot here, the backgrounds are going to be moving separate from each other, which means they need to be hanging off a little bit to add extra movement. And this square will just represent the camera, like the frame of where things are. And then for, oh my god, dead silent. As soon as I hit go live, dogs start barking uncontrollably. Hello, Waffles. I'm gonna lose my damn mind if that dog keeps barking for no reason. And that's the thing, it's for no reason. Dixie! For fuck's sake! Stop! I know you technically shouldn't be yelling at- you shouldn't yell at the dog for barking because that's you barking at them barking in dog language. But y'all don't understand. I'm at my limit. I'm like this close to snapping. My fingernails are barely touching. Anyway. Mother. Ooh, that's gonna be annoying. Hold up. If I forgot, since I copy-paste it, I don't actually see where the camera frame is supposed to be. Because I do the sketches with the camera's final frame in mind. There. Now, if I just shoop. There we go. Perfect. Our neighbors, your neighbors have a dog that just keeps barking at everything. So it's when I'm recording or doing homework, making music, it's the worst time. I can relate. Yeah. Like, back when I was making videos, I would be like, okay, everything's good, everything's quiet, I'll sit down and record audio, and then, as soon as I, like, hit record, like, 50 semi-trucks and 12 jets fly by. I'm just motherfucker. Pound my fists on the table. Alright, there's the sketch. I don't know, and this is probably something I should figure out pronto. I am not sure what the color situation is going to be, because I have to save each layer as a separate PNG. Last animatic I did was grayscale with like 2 colors, like I said last stream. So I'm wondering, It always looks like I'm barking whenever she does that. Hang on, let me... Day 2 of animating and day 5,500 of being interrupted by a stupid schizophrenic dog. Turns out all you have to do is just stand over her silently to establish dominance. I'm just gonna close that. My cat's outside. There. Now if she starts barking, I can just pretend I don't hear it. an electric drill. Thankfully, I don't have neighbors. Okay. I could go ham on the intro. I do know I want it to look a certain way for this bit. I want to have a focus on lighting. I think that's what I decided for this one. I was going to have a focus on lighting, less of color, more of shading and texture. Especially since these backgrounds, yes, they are going to be moving, but it's the intro. The first 10 seconds of a video needs to be kick-ass. So, the beginning... So I'm not going to be focusing on color, so that means I can just think about shape. So that means... Turn that down a bit. I'm going to stick with the G pen. All reliable. Be thankful you don't live in an attached house because, oh god. Yeah. Okay, I don't need the reference just yet. These trees are going to be separate layer. I need to think of this like a VTuber, honestly. Each part has to be its own separate PNG. It's for movement. Yeah.
Apparently I have something filthy on my hand. Because Miss Kitty and the kittens were trying to clean me.
Well, that's where you were.
Yeah. I know that Black Sex store, so that's why Dixie was barking. She was trying to get his attention. Yeah.
Word of advice as someone who is at their limit. If you hate being interrupted for anything, and or have noise sensitivities, just don't have pets. Because there's no guarantee with any animal you get. It's like, oh, this dog is a quiet breed. Yeah, fuck that. Heaven forbid your dog has trauma. And now just won't stop barking at every little thing because whatever. There we go. It also doesn't help. I sound crazy on stream. I know I do, because I hear everything that happens in this house, basically. But thankfully, the mic noise gate doesn't pick it up. So I'll just be talking and then just go, oh, my fucking... And then people are like, what's going on? You can't hear it. Be grateful. If I... Okay, now this is what we see when it shifts down. Oh, wait, actually... Fuck, it needs to be lower. Because I need tree. Alright. No, it still needs to be lower. Damn! I hate not being able to think ahead. And that's not a joke or anything. I genuinely think I lack the ability to think ahead. Because every time I do literally anything, it's always scuffed as hell. You know what? Since nothing up here is needed, I'll just move the sketch entirely up here. Because the tree is going to be its own PNG. So if I... Also, if it's anything technical, I just can't with it. It's not that it's not that I don't know how. Because if you just don't know how to do something, you can always learn. The thing is, I have tried to learn on multiple occasions. It just don't click. The fact that I see things as illustrations. Here it is. All of my inner vision of things is either a full illustration or a movie. Even for my comic, I see it as like an animated feature. And the comic, for the frames, I have to like take screenshots of the animation, which is why the text layout is such garbage on my comic, because I don't see the text. I don't think in comics. I think in illustrations and in animation. But doing the actual not the legality, the physics of animation is what screws with my head, because holy shit, it's too technical, I guess. Does she want in or out? I think she just wants in. Finished pieces and animations I can relate. Yeah. Yeah, so knowing that this is what the final shot frame is gonna look like, and that for this bit I want it to move down, like to pan down real quick, and for it to be real quick I still need to draw this so I can cut or crossfade. I don't think I'm gonna crossfade. It's gonna be a very fast crossfade to this scene, which honestly might be easier to do because I'm just gonna be animating the water and the leaves moving in a breeze, which is just gonna be different frames. But this is going to be because the PNG has to exist outside of the camera so it can move into frame. See, now, that's the exact part that always screws me up. And hello, okay, I'm gonna try and pronounce your name. Riscus Reigns. So y'all see animations when you listen to music? Yes! Yes, 1000%. I see fully animated music videos. And like, when I listen to music, sometimes I listen to music and it's like, I figure out plot holes. I fix plot holes, I think of whole scenes. When I listen to music, there's no relaxing for me. No rest for the creative. I think, just for the sake of my own sanity, I'm going to... Handle... Roll for initiative. How do you want to do this? Actually, the clouds need to go the long way. I understand that. These trees, these two trees, are going to be a separate PNG. So I could just put them on a completely different folder, because it's just going to be edited on top of each other, which is going to be a pain, but it'll at least work. So if I... You know what I can do? I'm gonna save this, and then I'll come back to it later. I'm going to, save as... Animatics. I should make a folder for this. Title card. Oh, shit. Hold up. We also need to... Save as, replace that. There we go. Now this is going to be the base file. Alright, yes. Hi, Dargoris. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. I was venting. I am doing not as good as I was last stream, because last night the dog woke me up every hour, feels like every other hour, to go to because he needed to go potty. But I have good coffee. I got some chores done. And it's Friday. So maybe things will be okay. Oh, that was on the same layer. Oops. Balls, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I know I said I was probably going to do the water animation with Fire Alpaca, but I really don't need to. And since I remembered, while Fire Alpaca, which is a free drawing program very similar to MediBang, is very good in the fact that it does have an onion skin mode, I did just remember that it does not save transparently. That is the biggest issue I have with Fire Alpaca. When you try to animate with it, it doesn't save it doesn't save transparently. So if you try to animate on top of something, okay, I'll animate this and then put it on top of a background, it will not. So it's good to do if you're doing frames, but you still have to save things as separate PNGs. Because it just will not. It has no transparent background. When it's animating, when you're making a PNG or any sort of illustration, yes, it saves transparently. But with the animation, nope. This needs to be in here, actually. Here. Now, the only layer that needs to be separate is the water and maybe a few bushes. But I think if I just... just try not to lose my mind. These eyes... Oh my god. You guys ever have too many ideas that it becomes some sort of art block? All the time, buddy. All the time. I'm working on this animatic just so I can get back into some form of animation, because I have a whole series that I've been working on since 2018 that's supposed to be animated, that has been in pre-production ever since. So yeah, I feel bad about not working on projects that I have ideas for, even though I have a million projects. The curse of creativity. Okay, this doesn't... These don't move, so this can be one layer. Maybe it's a thinner line. There we go. Okay, that needs to go under that, because this is gonna move. You're actually writing a song about overthinking while overthinking everything. You can call it creative irony. Over dramatic irony. If I was just doing illustrations for this thing, it wouldn't be as difficult. I suppose, like, there's some scenes where I just, like, it would be completely separate illustrations that just stack on top of each other. But since I want movement for like for certain frames. Ugh. Ugh. This one not so much, but this intro is probably going to be the hardest part. Because I want so many things to move. And it's not just drawing different frames. Because of the way my video program is, which is not an animation program, I do have to preface that. I don't have an animation program. I have Pencil 2D, but you can't, I mean, it's really basic illustrating on that. Who knows? Maybe I'll do all these illustrations and then realize that's not how I want it to look. So then I just go back and redo it anyway. Ugh. Say lovey. Say the year, Napoleon. I guess you can't win them all. I think as soon as I figure out the logistics of how, everything else should fall into place. Should. I don't know. That's the problem with being an illustrator at heart. An illustrator first, a writer second. When it comes to actually making the pictures in your head move, when you're already a sort of expert on just making still images, there's a lot more logistics. Okay, that's what I was talking about. The reason why I can't just do a bunch of illustrations and then upload them separately, like how I would normally want to do, it's because with my program, Movavi, each picture would have to be reformatted to fit the frame that I want it to have the movement that I want. So that means each frame would have to be perfectly matched to be, you know, resized to fit the frame, and then it would just be jiggling the whole time because there's no way I'd be able to get it exactly right. So I have to keep things separate so I can just frame the background and then reformat just the separate layers. Which is still hard, but not as impossible. Okay, this is going to sway slightly. I'm drawing it all together now, but when I export these files, I'll save them all on a singular file size. Hopefully it works that way. So then when I upload them, they'll just sit neatly on top of each other. And then I can animate each thing separately save transparently, and then add it on top of things, so I don't have a million files layered on top of each other, making me lose my place. I'm just animating one thing, exporting it as a separate video file, and then I'll just loop it as needed. Or play it back, reverse it, it's whatever. Hopefully that's how it works. I'm banking on it working that way. But if it doesn't, I'll just die. Now the cat wants in, and the dog wants out, and then everybody just needs my attention. Why? I don't like being needed. Get in. Come on. Jump up. Okay, you jump up. You come in. You go out. He's just walking slow. I get it, he's old, but still. I'm busy. I really hope I don't come off or sound like a bitch in these live streams, but it really does. Just that one nerve I have is so easily plucked. And it's the nerve that makes me allergic to being interrupted. Not interrupted like I was talking. I can handle that. ADHD, wrangle, brr. I hate being disrupted. That's the term. I hate being disrupted, especially when I'm already in the middle of a task that I'm not sure is gonna turn out right anyway, or I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm gonna have all these bushes sway slightly too, because they're over and next to the water. And there would be a breeze coming through. So then these would be on the same layer, because they move. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. Since these bushes are going to be moving on top, I need these layers to be underneath so that there's no weird, what's the word I'm looking for? Pixelate? No, not pixelation. That's not what I'm looking for. So there's just no weird gaps. There we go. Excuse me. No weird gaps. Honestly, I think if I'm gonna continue to do animation as on the red, I need to do it at night while everyone is asleep so no one can disturb me. But then at night, you know, I kind of like just winding down, listening to music, creepypastas, video essays. I can do that during the day when I can just pause and then walk away. I don't mean to be angry. I know listening to an angry streamer isn't exactly the most fun thing. Unless it's like a rage game, then it's kind of funny. but also not, because I get secondhand frustration. Everyone talks about secondhand embarrassment. No one talks about secondhand frustration. Or the fact that I have trauma. And I assume whenever someone does anything loudly that they're mad. Or when someone's yelling, I'm like, oh god, I just imagine what it would be like if I was in the room with them. You're like, you know, being yelled at. I illustrate them all together, and then just save them separately. The world will be at peace. So what's your guys' pet peeves? You know, let's get a conversation going. What absolutely, irrationally irks you to the point of physical violence? Mine's being interrupted. Okay, save as Riverbank. What color do I want this fish to be? Add new folder. Colors. In air quotes. I'm also realizing some things are just not gonna work. It's been so long since I've done an animatic that I genuinely, legit, have forgotten how to do all of it. Because I remember saving things separate, and that things had to move, so I made them bigger. But I don't recall if I made things smaller first and then just blew them up, or... because I don't have any of the original files. If I kept the original raw files, I could go back and see how I did it. It's some reverse engineering stuff. But I don't have them. Because I was running out of storage. And I needed to get rid of things. I think I know how to animate the water. It'll be in between. And it's gonna be yellow and white for the highlight. So I think I'll try it in white and then see how that works. Or if I do it in black and then just color. You know what? I'll do it in black so then I can just go back and color it. That. For such a soothing, calm song, this is gonna absolutely make me crash out. You know what I should do, actually? I should just work on like the main verses, like the bulk of the frames, and then go back and do the intro later once I've picked up speed. However, the reason why I wanted to do the intro first is because it's going to be the hardest part, and I don't want to lose steam. I don't want to, like, go halfway through the project and then lose steam and then just decide not to add these frames because I've already lost energy. But I know because of how hard they are, and starting out with the hardest part is going to make you lose steam on a project very quickly. Okay, this frame is, I think, is gonna work a lot easier. I don't see why it takes like 50 people to do one singular animation. And it's because of shit like this. Because it's just so hard. Right? Yeah. I forgot to do the thing again. Okay, so. This is easy because it's left to right. I can do that. And there's no jiggling, it's just movement. Movement text I think I can do a lot easier. So, this is one layer. And the river, I'm not sure if that's gonna move, but I know this background is gonna move going this way, and then this is gonna move that way, because then Rune is going to be walking. Now this is going to be a slight irritation, I think, is her walking, because I want to add a little bit of bounce to it. So she's going to be walking. To make the illusion of her moving, or her walking, we gotta have these move separate. That I can do. I'm gonna save this as... walking. No, walk. Background. And then maybe I'll do her walking separate, because that's a different type of animation. And of course, animation in air quotes. How much is it? The thing is, I don't know how long this bit is gonna last. Hopefully at least a few seconds. Because if I know how long it's gonna last, I can adjust the length, and like maybe I only need to go out to here. But if this thing's gonna last for a while, then these streets need to move for... Unless it moves, have it move really slow. Anyway. This is the other side of that, so... That reaches out to there, there's bushes here. Rock. All we need is just a little patience. Said wanna take it slow, it'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. On the stairs, 'cause I'd rather be alone. And there's one more thing to consider. It's time I get so tense, 'cause you set my mind at ease. Because my doubts are in my heart now. These lyrics are all out of orders because I don't remember the actual words of the song. Said sugar, take it slow. We'll come together fine. You and I got what it takes to make it. Together fine. All we need is just a little patience. Yeah. Some more patience. Need a little patience. I've been walking the streets at night, just trying to get it right. No, I see so many around. And no, I don't like being stuck in the ground. I can't remember the words. Save. I thought about doing this the other day, and I don't know why I didn't do it. But I thought about marking each frame that is a still animation. That is a still image. That just holds for a few seconds, or just pans up and down. Like, because this doesn't need to move, because I know if I try to do any movement tech with this frame, it's gonna absolutely kill me. Same with this one, this is just an illustration that pans over. So I think if I just do the illustrations first, except this one. This one, I kind of want to save for last, because it is like the big shot. I know if I at least get the frames started, I can come back when I have better energy, and there's good energy, and not lose my mind. So that's really all I want. I just don't want to go insane. Not yet, anyway. Right, since this frame's going this way, I actually don't need any of this. I mean, just in case, we can keep this. Just scrunch it a little bit. Unless I start... Where is it? Unless we start with the tree here, and then continue to move it. Maurice, I can't move it anymore. Who would have thought there's a lot of logistics involved with animation? Animation is really hard, and animators should be paid more. Whatever the quote was from that, Wander Over Yonder episode. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was pure gold. It was very difficult. Just need more credit for their work. Loud silence. Who has not repaid his debt? I've been searching a trail to follow again. Take me back to the night we met. Oh, take me back to the night we met. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for... Whoa. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, haunted by the ghost of you. There we go. Take me back to the night we met. since this is closer to the camera, it would be moving faster than the background. So this file no, it should still yeah. Logistically it should be longer. So if we go corner to corner for this one and then just go like here to here maybe with this guy, because we can have it start from the beginning and just move. No problemo. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of a project and it's just stressful, not even necessarily going poorly, just being stressful, making me stress out. I keep quoting that, thinking of that one JonTron video where he did the turducken. It's like, no, even in my wildest dreams, I couldn't imagine it would go this poorly. Even in my wildest dreams, I couldn't imagine it would go this poorly. It just shows either incompetent my generation or me is. I rewatched that video recently. Oh my god, it is just a comedy gold. Says otherwise, and I pound ya. It looks like this tree is wearing a bull cap. I don't know how to explain it. It just looked like the tree had a bull cut. And I needed to rectify that terrible mistake. Here. Didn't I have a shot where... No. No, I didn't. Although I could. Because who doesn't like a weeping willow tree? So then if we start here... Wait, I can't get the zoom to exactly the width of the blue bit. It's always a bit too small. So if we just pretend. So a frame starts here, and then it just... Yeah! Good. Very good. Are you good? Are you very good? Now these bushes don't have to move because don't have to sway. They're gonna be with the trees because they're on the opposite bank, and that's not gonna excuse you. That's not gonna be an issue. Oh, it needs to be... Yeah. Yeah. That needs to keep going. I'm not exactly sure how. It needs to go up at least to here. And then, because this is going this way. Ooh, we actually need to put the focus here, because it's moving here. Right? No. Ah. Mentally. I did it. No, because this is moving this way. So it needs to start here. So it needs to start in the opposite direction, in the direction it goes. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. Oh, this is so hard. Studios. 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 I'm grabbing you by the shirt collar. I'm grabbing you by the fucking neck. Alright? Pay your animators. Pay them. Pay your animators. Pay your artists. Give them good livable wages. Don't mistreat them. They are people, and they are professionals. They're the ones making your product look marketable. Okay? I'm sorry you had to hear that side of me, chat. But I needed to speak directly to the CEOs that are absolutely watching the stream. You know? You know, the multi-billion-dollar CEOs that watch a Just Rune LOL stream. So we actually need to start here, and then focus over here. Now, it doesn't need to be pretty. You know, I just realized, on this frame here, I don't really have to think about editing the light beam coming through, because I do have a filter in Movavi where I can just put it there and it moves slightly. But Rune does still need to be separate from the background. Now, that is never going to change. The characters are always separate from the background. Maybe. No, not for these ones, because we're doing focus and unfocus shots. If only I wasn't a maximalist. If only. Oh, completely random. But did y'all hear? I didn't notice this because I don't really watch view count. on like other people's stream as much. Apparently, and I just heard this from some random other VTuber. I don't know how exactly true it is. Apparently, Twitch did this thing where if you're lurking on a stream, meaning you're not engaging in chat, you're just casually watching, apparently, if you're lurking, it doesn't count your view. Like, for some reason, Twitch doesn't count your view if you're lurking anymore. So they're literally forcing engagement out of people. So if you're just lurking in chat, which I lurk in chat all the time, I think in order to, like, help the streamer, you should at least, like, just say hi. And then every once in a while, just maybe, like, put a thumbs up or a W or, you know, just, even if it's just like, wow. Like, I don't mind the, SS Sniper Wolf, chatters, you know? They're fine. Especially if you're just trying to, like, boost out. If you just want to keep engagement with the stream to help a girl out. That's fine. The SS Sniper Wolf content farms, though, y'all can go to hell. This is gonna be just bush. Yeah, this is good. That looks good. Yeah. How bad is that gonna look, though? Ooh, really bad. Never mind. Make the trees look different. It'll look like I'm an actual professional. And not just a person that draws squiggles for a living. As if I'm getting paid for this. As if I'm getting paid. As if people would pay for this kind of content. I don't know. I mean, there are people that donate to KSI, so I think if it's a thing, if it exists, someone will buy it. I think that's the mentality we need to adapt when it comes to making content. It's like, oh, are people gonna like this? It's like, hey, if it exists, someone will buy it. The rule 34 of content. If it exists, there's porn of it. If it exists, someone will pay money. Will buy it. Someone. Maybe not the type of audience you want to have for your creative endeavor, but hey. No matter what it is, there is someone out there who will find enjoyment in it, or there's someone who'll like it. It doesn't really matter what it is. Really. That looks terrible. Now, if there's a certain type of audience that you want to attract, by all means, think about the logistics of what you're making and what type of crew it's going to attract. But then again, if you only make a certain type of content, it's not going to attract only that type of people. Like, take me, for example. 99.9% of the time, I'm working on a Warrior Cats comic on my live streams. And show of hands in chat, any of my fans, How many of y'all are Warrior Cats fans? Like, none. Well, back when I was streaming on YouTube, there were a bit more fans in there. And it's so funny, even the people on DeviantArt that are reading my comic, not all of them are Warriors fans. They just liked my comic and kept reading. So there'll be comments from like, "Oh, who's this character? Or what's this bit of lore?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot. Not everyone has read all the books." You know, shush. You don't need to put that much detail in the background, especially with this much detail in the foreground. Shush. I really hope I did this right. If not, I'm going to crash out. Alright. Let's keep going. Back, them days are gone. Follow me into the endless night. I can bring your fears to life. Show me yours and I'll show you mine. Meet me in the woods tonight. La da 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 da. The truth is stranger than in all my dreams. Oh, the darkness has a hold on me. I have seen what the darkness does. Say goodbye to who I was. I ain't never been away so long. Don't look back, them days are gone. Follow me into the endless night. I can bring your fears to life. Show me yours and I'll show you mine. Meet me in the woods tonight. That was the song I did for the last animatic I did years ago. Yeah, so if I'm gonna tell this to go this way, that means it needs to start here and then just... yeah. Love like ghost. Feels like age, just so you say it's only day. There ain't language for the things I've seen. The truth is stranger than in all my dreams. Oh, the darkness has a hold on me. Now, I could feasibly have another layer of background that's just the distant trees moving. And I'd be moving, that would be stationary while these move to show more movement. But I am genuinely questioning my own sanity for even considering that. How the hell has it been an hour already? We're gonna save. Save and sip. I genuinely do not recall how I did all the formatting before. Probably a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Let's be honest. The editing for these... I know I'm constantly complaining about the editing, and I really should stop bitching about the editing, but I'm just... Every step for an animation, I can't just illustrate the picture. I have to preemptively think about how it's going to be layered so I can make the finished product look like this. You see, because this is the sketch for the finished product. But the actual doings and innings, the ins and outs of this are going to, you know, I have to think about it whole, break my life into pieces, this is my last resort, and then finally reformat it back into the whole that we had previously. And it is... Wait, colors would need to be... Damn! This should actually be that. Yeah. Alright. No finished product for these next few streams, which I'm gonna try and keep in mind. The next few streams are not going to be finished in any way, shape, or form. Hang on, I need to get up a different... I need to go grab a different file. Here. Because... for this one... this is simple. From a different... Whoops, that's the wrong folder. I'll say verse 1, frame 1, just so I can keep things in order. And then I need to go back and put everything in different folders. Like separate the intro from the different verses, the chorus. Yeah, so then I can just keep everything in check. Now this is simple. So 2 layers here. I think for this frame I can really... Yeah, I should start with these frames. No, that's not the right face shape. So humble. I'm so humble. I don't know why that song popped into my head. That's not the emotion I'm trying to convey here. I'm trying to convey something a little softer. I need to rethink the expression. It's just the top of the eyes that need to get fixed. They just... Yeah, I realize. The eyes just need to be angled. Downward. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was going for. I'm just gonna be really sad. Some of these frames are gonna be, like, not to humble brag, but some of these frames are gonna turn out to be so gorgeous and then they're only gonna be on screen for like a second. Just no. All that work. I'll just upload each frame separately as its own illustration. There we go. Next animated project I decide to do is just gonna be a PMV. Just pictures. Just illustrations that maybe have some movement to them. Fully illustrated. I don't give a single fuck. They're just gonna be illustrations. That's if I do this again. You know, I said that the last time. I was like, okay, I'm doing this just to get practice for animation. And then I did it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that again for at least another year. And yeah, it's been a little over a year. I think it's almost been 2 years. Eee, hang on. Let me look that up. How long has it been since I've done... Since my last, since, Meet Me in the Woods. I'm looking it up on my channel. Videos. Popular. Yeah. Little over a year ago. July 25th, 2024. Holy poop. Actually, the last animatic I did, sort of, was, the sneak peek for Gatesville. That did not turn out as good as I wanted it to. It just made me realize, yeah, for any animated series that I want to do, I'm hiring a team. I'll write the stupid... I'll write the series, I'll design the characters, I'll do literally anything else. But someone else can do the animation, because good God. Oh, that's not the right. There we go. The thing aside is I still have ideas for illustrations and animations and whatnot, and like music videos for my characters, but I'm sitting here just, oh my god. Darling, who's gonna do all that? You? I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then to answer my own question, I'll just be, you know what, I'll just get good. You'll just get good. Did you hear that, lads? She says she'll just get good. What even is this whole situation right here? This is gonna be literally on screen for maybe 3 seconds, so I really don't think I have to worry about what the hands look like. What is going on here? Why does this look good, but this looks kind of shit? What is it with sketches that, when you do the sketch, you're like, wow, this is it. This is how we're gonna do this. And then as soon as you try to do the line art, it just turns up. Whatever that sound effect is. You'll know what I'm talking about, the brump. Or the womp womp. I don't know what the hell it's called. The shoulders are too broad. That's what it is. Thank goodness for all these select erasers and Control T and all of that sweet swinging jazz. this out some. I think the reason why the sketch in my mind looks good is because it's only partially there. You know, like the eyes. The eyes are really tripping me up because if you look, if I just traced this, whoops, if I just traced the sketch as is, that's what we're working with. But to make it actually fit, you know, the ref sheet that I have and the character, you need to, like, fill in the lines more. And by filling in the lines more, you're taking away the, I guess, the imagination of it. Because with the sketch, your brain kind of fills in the rest. Okay, since she's gonna be moving slightly, I do need to draw behind her. But I do need to be mindful of where she is. She's not gonna be really moving? Yeah, she is gonna be moving. And since most of the sketch is just a blank void, I'm not sure what to fill it in with. That's the wrong type of texture. I need to, in order to survive this project, I think what I gotta do is I have to absolutely like doing it. You know, I'm not starting this just to finish it, because then I won't enjoy what I'm doing. I'm doing this because I like it. You hear me? Did you hear me, Rune? Did you hear me, Self? You like doing this! I mean, that's why I do comics. I do comics because I like it. I genuinely like doing comics, even though it's not my preferred medium. Ironically enough. Crap. I gotta use the bathroom. That is the issue with drinking the monstrous amount of coffee that I do. You are constantly peeing. Same with being hydrated. You're just in the bathroom all day. I can tell if I'm not working on this project every day for the next few weeks, it's not gonna get done before December. And I don't think, I genuinely, if I look at the calendar, I genuinely don't think I have enough time. No. I do not have enough time to get this done before December. But I would genuinely be surprised if I did get this done before December. So then all of December can be me scripting for the comic and getting the pages sketched and ready for when it comes back in January for New Year's. But the scripting ain't done. I don't mind being busy, that's the thing. I'm not complaining about being busy. I like having things to do. I just don't think I gave myself enough time to do it. Not without sacrificing a good amount of, you know, sleep and whatnot. Problem is, this sketch here is so whimsy and cute, but then if I have to, like, actually draw that, the logistics ain't logisticking. I know all this to be true. It's the doing, you see, that... I'm in love with a fairy tale, even though it hurts, 'cause I don't care if I lose my mind, I'm already cursed. Okay, so the water. Am I going grayscale? Don't need to be conscious of pixels. No, no. 'Cause I don't care if I lose my mind. I'm already cursed. I think I actually want to focus more on the it's funny because I didn't actually think about the texture aspect. Or like the style. That's what I did not consider. What the logistics of the style would be. Because the last time I did this, it was, you know, grayscale and gradients just for simplicity's sake. Because it would be, you know, I could knock out a background in a moment. This, I don't know, man. The temptation to go absolutely hog wild with the details like I do with all of my illustrations is strong with this one. that's why, because, yeah. Oh, that looks bad. I'm just wondering how it would look if I colored it. And I'm... I'm just nah. Nah. But I don't want it to be just completely black and white. You know? Now this void back here is a bit much. There we go. Oh, that's much better. That's too dark. I'm back again. Well, welcome back. I am not sure if I want this to be the style, because my overzealous dumbass forgot to conceive of which style I should go with for the animatics, because I can't. Come on. I can't just use my illustration style because that's way too detailed. I can't use my comic style because that's just my illustration style. And I don't want to just use my sketches because I don't know. I want it to look good. And while this is fine, it's not my usual MO. And my usual MO is quite, cartoonishly overcomplicated. You know what I'm saying? You try to rewatch Back to the Future. Trying to get the movie to display on the CRT. But didn't have the right adapters. Aw, butter. Butter? What? Brother. Like, right here. Rune doesn't look that bad. Like, this does not look bad, per se. I just am not sure if I want to commit to this. Because I don't want the animatic to change styles, like, 3 times, or, like, mid-frame. You know? What I could do... It's just to add slight gradients over things. But then again, that would also be a lot to keep track of. Although I kind of like that. I kind of like this. Especially since earlier I said I wanted an emphasis on the lighting. Good, but it's your preference, so I shouldn't say anything. Hey, I know it's all my preference, and it's like, hey, it's your decision. I'm like, it's the problem. I can't make a decision because whatever I choose now, I'll have to commit to it. And sure, I can go back and change it anytime I wish. But that's just a hassle. Went out, kitty cat. Alright. Okay, this looks good, but I'm just not sure if I don't want to keep doing this, you know, that's the issue. It's the doing that is going to drive me up a wall. You have a music teacher like that that's like, hey, it's your music. It's like, motherfucker, I'm coming to you for advice as the, oh, I don't know, the teacher or the professional. Or if I'm like, hey guys, what do you think? What looks good? And they're like, I know, it's your decision. I'm just like, that's not the question I asked. I asked what you thought. But that happens to me so much. So often I ask someone, it's like, hey, what do y'all think? And they're like, well, it's your decision. I'll be like, no, that's too much. If I just do, like, simple, blocky gradients. So, yeah, this is a bit much. I think 30% looks pretty good. I just gotta remember every single frame and with the backgrounds is gonna look. Okay. It looks good. How am I going to export this? I know this is gonna be its own file. And then this is gonna be its own file. But is this... I think that might be a bit much. Especially since I have a highlight. Oh, I need to finish rendering this. I do have a highlight. What's the word I'm looking for? shit, what is the word filter. I have a highlight filter on my video editor, Movavi. So I could just do that. Whatever I can achieve with filters and just like pan and zoom, you know what? I'll do it. There we go. No need for lighting. Just color the line art. There we go. Yeah. Just need to clean up the background a little bit so it looks less shitty. We start like the digital painters of old. Turn that layer off. Grayscale. I know that this tree is mostly going to be covered up by a rune, but she's going to have some slight movement, and I don't want to be like, just like an outline. You just need to have, like, see all this detail and then just see a square of just blank, like, unrendered tree. Because it just looks sloppy. But since this tree's closer to the water, which is reflecting light, and in a not as inland, I just saw that message. Updated your YouTube profile picture. Nice. Now that it's on display, you hate it. Oh no. I changed my YouTube profile. It was fine for a little bit. It was like, but then I was looking in like comment sections and whatnot. I was like, man, you really can't see what that is. So I just changed it to my face. Nothing too fancy. I think Rune might be the only thing that's grayscale for this animatic, just so she stands out more from the background. And because I know me, knowing me, I'm gonna put all of my energy into the illustration to really show off how much of a Frankenstyle I have, because we have this clearly cartoonishly drawn character against these survival guide notebook sketches. Bring me a dialogue. As long as I keep this gray as a base. So that's gonna be the gray. I could save it now, but I want all my files to be in order before. Yeah, we got the beat. Okay, I can go through now and I can mark. Now. This one's illustration. That's an animation. That's an illustration. This might be an illustration. I don't know. I think this might be... Yeah, this is an illustration as well. This one... Sort of. Like, asterisk. Because the black creeps in. Same with this one. This one... Sorta, because the separation. Same with this one. This one... Sorta. Now this one I don't know. These will definitely have to be two separate PNGs so I can put the blur. I can either manually do the unfocus myself or have the program do it. I'll have to look at and see what it is. This... This is a solid illustration. I don't think Rune moves in this one. I've been searching... Yeah, that's like 2 seconds, so it's fine if it doesn't move. This is more animated because she'll be gasping, so that's like 2 frames. This is an illustration. And then with this one. This is an illustration. Same with this. That's an illustration. Transparent. 3 layers. And this is an illustration. These two with the focus thing, I'm not sure. These are frame. I'm not sure. These illustrations are frames. This is gonna be animated, and oh my god, is it gonna be hell. This is an illustration. I know, like, animating the butterflies would be a thing, but hell nah. No thank you. No thank you. Illustration. This one's weird because it's gonna be panning up the tree while things are emerging, so it's... I'm not sure what it's gonna be. The chorus. This is an illustration. This is an illustration. These three are kind of part of the same animation. This sort of, because the hands, that's not... Okay, yeah. These two are illustrations. Well, no, room's gonna be separate for the movement tech. This is a still illustration because the movement is gonna be the zoom from this to this. And then the butterfly moves down. This is just gonna be a pan down the river for the credits. This is also gonna be more of an illustration, but I do want there to be a bit of a bounce to show that she's walking with the beat. So that's just gonna be counted as a frame, not an illustration. These are multi-plane camera movements. I know the stream was called me working on the intro. Hope has failed us this day. Or perhaps maybe I failed Hope. It's so funny. On the radio in the living room, it's playing the song "You Make a Grown Man Cry." Like, yep. You made a grown man cry. You made a grown man cry. Oh, shoot. I did that thing again. Yeah, frame size. Save it again here. movement for the background, just 3 frames of rune walking. So now I can save this as animatics. First 1, rune 2 for the save file. Again, take me back to the night we met, and then I can tell myself what the hell I'm supposed to do, and then I can tell myself not to ride along with you. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, haunted by the ghost of you. Take me back to the night we met, when the night was full of terror, and your eyes were filled with tears, when you had not touched me yet. Or take me back to the night we met. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, haunted by the ghost of you. Take me back to the night we met. Sorry, I'm locking in real quick, guys, because... select inverse. Some of the line art here is a little too thick. Draw. Alright, now that's good. I know this looks kind of whack. Bear with me. Oh goodness, this is gonna be hell. Okay, that's one. If I can do... If I make this step, like, kind of whimsy, as long as I try to keep the proportions the same. Oh, no, that's the wrong select. This. I don't care what anybody says. I do this. But alternate the feet. As long as I draw as long as I remember to put these runes on separate layers, so I can save them into separate files, we should be golden. There we go. Maybe if I tilt the head. I don't know why, I just think adding more movement to like to show that there's a sway in her step to add more whimsy. I think that's okay. Movavi to the river. Yeah, I'm calling it. Next stream, as in like next Monday, that stream's gonna be nonverbal. I can already tell. Just if this one's anything to go off of. It's the only thing I wanna do. I don't wanna sleep, I just wanna keep on loving you. looks different because there's not as much texture. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, that's been 3 hours. I need lunch. And to get the mail and take a break and just step back and think about how I'm gonna do this and yada yada yada. And it's Friday, so it should be a simple day. This is going to be quite the mental breakdown. I kind of see why first time I did this I didn't live stream it, because it's just a lot of back and forth and second guessing and trying to remember how the hell I want to do something and figuring out if that's even what I want to stick with. Regardless, it's something to do. For the sake of my own sanity, I will be working on this off stream as well. Just so when I am live streaming, I have more of a plan, I suppose. And hopefully better sleep. Anyway. Thank you for watching this. And I know everyone says, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click like and subscribe and whatever. This time I'm genuinely, like, if you are watching this, whether on Twitch or YouTube, genuinely, thank you. Because oh my goodness. Misery loves company. Witness me, brothers. Witness me! Hell, I might just say, you know what, I'll just do the line art, on stream and then do the texturing off stream. I don't know. I'll just go back and do the texturing later, I guess. Oh well. We figure it out as we go. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you Monday. Probably a no mic stream, so look forward to that. Okay, bye. Oh, I should remember to post the VOD Sunday.